All right, mic is on. Hey guys, what's going on? Good evening. Welcome aboard to the Aftermarket Recap. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Thanks again for stopping by. Sorry for starting a little late. It is 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. I was running around a little bit doing a couple of errands, but here I am, ready to rock. All right, let's talk about it. Dow Jones closed up 273 points, NASDAQ up 0.75%, S&P up 0.69%. The VIX down. Kind of looks like we're going to go down below 20, which is always a good sign. Down 11.56% at 2196. Boy, what a difference 8 days makes, right, from where we were. Small caps, I still have IWM calls. They were up 1.05%, 203.36. I still have the 205 calls. Equal weight ETF for the S&P was up 0.78%, doing better than the regular weighted S&P. 10-year yields right at 1.8%. Dollar fell 0.29%, 96.26. Helped boost NASDAQ and tech stocks. High yield credit bounced up 0.4% at 84.73, 127.73. Green for investment grade bonds. Taking a look at crude oil, up 0.24%, $88.36 a barrel. We know our target, $100 a barrel. Gasoline futures up 0.83%, $2.57. Gold is slightly above 1800, 1801, 0.27% to the upside. Silver, 2264, up 1.10%. And you can see all the gains today. Upstart, DraftKings, Netflix, SoFi, Mara, CGC, Space, Football, AMC, Riot, Square not so much right now, Coinbase, Palantir, Penn, Snapchat, GameStop. Again, all the high betas did well today, which shows a risk on sentiment, with also Bitcoin moving up earlier in the day. Bitcoin is now trading at 38,705. We got as high as 39,255. So we're about $500 off pace. But again, it's good to see that the risk assets are on back again. That shows confidence in the market. Again, like we said, 4260, that was our bottom, and we are looking higher. Break of 4581 in the S&P. That's pretty much going to tell you all you need to know. That's really going to get us right above that. Yeah, that was get us above that 100-day moving average. We broke the 200. That's a trend. Break over the 100. That's a huge deal. We'll be back in range if we start around 46.23 to all-time highs. Imagine where you were just 8 days ago when the market was tanking on that Monday. Wasn't pretty, but if you took advantage of it and you were listening to us and you were listening to everything we were telling you on a technical basis, following us on Twitter and all that good stuff, you were not surprised today. This is exactly what we expected. Again, we'll see what we get for non-farm payroll on Friday, but again, we are going to go higher. Sorry to say, but 4260 was your best shot at buying a nice discount. Let's take a look at some earnings and we'll answer some questions. PayPal. Let's go to PayPal first. First on my board. PayPal is down after hours. They reported $1.11 EPS estimate versus a $1.12 estimate. So that's a miss. But they did beat on revenue, $6.92 billion versus $6.88 billion. Not bad. Their guidance, fiscal year 22, their guidance is 15 to 17% year over year with a 29.9 billion adjusted EPS of $4.06 versus $4.75. That is below estimates, hence why the stock is down. They obviously do very well, but again, the market, I guess, when it comes to analysts, they don't like it right now in terms of the earnings that they made. That's why the forecast is down. I mean, that's why the stock is down after hours. Their forecasting wasn't great. The miss on EPS isn't the best. And there was also one little caveat here that we're missing. Let's see. I thought I saw it here on PayPal. PayPal did miss in terms of not only revenue, but in terms of net usage on there. Let me see if I can get that. I think I had that headline here on PayPal. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Total payment volume, 339.53 billion. The expectation was 343 billion. So that's a miss even on volume. Hence why the stock is down. So again, not the best quarter in the world for PayPal. They're trading at 147. Now you're probably saying to yourself, well, Carlos, what's a good place to look at to add some more? Well, again, now we're at near this level. There's a gap to fill down right at 129.63. If you're looking for puts, this may be the stock to do it because that quarter was not great at all. And we also have Square coming up. So Square is also down after hours because they're in the same fintech space. I thought maybe with Visa having a great quarter, PayPal would do the same. And you could see they fell from 127.61 to 121.75. Do I think PayPal is worth a shot? I do, at the right price. Again, I right now the market is trying to carve out the fair value of it at this current place. There's not enough growth there to satisfy the investors. 129.63 would be the level where I would add on a PayPal here. Again, we'll be trading at 147, which is right around here. If all things being equal tomorrow, if we get a little more of a dip, PayPal will be a good shot. Now we're going to go to some actually companies that did well. Let's go to AMD. AMD reported 92 cents 92 cents earnings per share versus 75 cents estimate. $4.8 billion in revenue versus $4.52, $4.52 billion. So that's a beat on the top and bottom line. The guidance was $5 billion over under $100 million versus a $4.29 billion non-GAAP gross margin of 50.5%. Their guidance of fiscal year 2020 is $21.5 billion versus a 19.2 estimate adjusted gross margin of 51. That's a beat on gross margin. That's a beat on guidance. That's a beat on top and bottom line. Good companies, they come through when people are pessimistic. AMD is a winner. You hold on to it. If you want to buy more, I'll probably wait for a slight little dip after all the buyers are in. If you can get it around 119, that's great. If you can't, then you just have to hold off for another dip because I think this is going to probably get to around 140. When I get into calls tomorrow, more than likely, AMD would be great. See what the pre-market action holds for us. The next one is Starbucks. Starbucks reported a 72-cent quarter EPS versus an 80-cent estimate, 8.05 billion versus an 8 billion. So they did beat on the revenue side, but not on the EPS side. And Starbucks is actually bouncing. So again, they may be having their conference call now. Starbucks really doesn't move after hours as much. It's more of a value stock than anything else. Again, looking at the quarter, I don't have tons of info on it. I'm gonna have to deep dive on it. I own shares of Starbucks. I think around 95 is worth a shot. I had a level at 92 and I never got to it to buy some more. So that's the problem with sometimes with having your levels. You don't get hit and then you miss a golden opportunity based on a $2 move. Let's take a look at General Motors. They are up after hours on their earnings. General Motors had a $1.35 EPS beat of 115. Revenue of $33.6 billion versus $29.2 billion. So that's a beat in top and bottom. Their guidance, $6.25 to $7.25 as a range versus a $6.89 on guidance for the fiscal year of 2022. Adjusted EBITDA is $13 to $15 billion. So again, that's solid. Again, top and bottom line beat. You can see their guidance was okay. I haven't heard their conference call. I don't expect a huge move from them, maybe to get to 58, maybe. But again, they're probably having their conference call now. Okay, it's a lot. Here's the last one, the one everyone wants to talk about. Google, hey, one of our top 10 stocks of 2022, excuse me. Yeah, Google is about to get to $3,000 a share. So let's go over the numbers. Q4, $30.69 versus $26.69 on ESPN and EPS. Beat on revenue, $61.2 billion versus $59.3 billion for Alphabet Google. They approved a 20-to-1 stock split. If you guys remember 2020, we had a stock split on Tesla and Apple. We did an emergency video on it, and obviously it worked out for those companies. All we're missing is Amazon to do the same. Cross your fingers, Amazon does a stock split. Google's a buy. Google's an amazing company. They had an amazing quarter. I'm looking at their YouTube ad revenue year over year, $8.63 billion versus $6.89 billion. That's growth. Google Cloud revenue, $5.54 billion versus $3.8 billion. They're a cash machine. Google is now in the point of Apple and Microsoft love. So the trifecta of love. I'll add 4, which is United Health. My top 4 favorite stocks: Apple, Microsoft, Google, and UNH. No one can tell me anything. And Palantir. I do love Palantir, but I'll say those 4 are the kings that I love very much. Tons to talk about. I don't know exactly the date we're going to have that stock split. It's approved 20-to-1. So let's say we start at 3,000 and they do the split there based on the price divided by 20. You're going to have $150 share stock. How lovely would it be to trade some Amazon options at $150 a share? Thank you, board of directors at Google. Let's answer some questions. Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Recession is canceled. Yeah, I guess. We never had a recession, but yeah, I guess so. Google stock split. Tell me what you think about when to start a position. I think if you want to buy on the next dip, you don't buy when it's going up, guys. Sorry to tell you. I would not buy when it's going up. If you get a little dip, it's not going to be green for the next 30 days. Let me just tell you that. You're going to get a chance to possibly get to around 2,900, 2,800. You'll get a shot. But again, I bought some at the beginning of the year, top 10 stock. Hey Gar, thoughts on Qualcomm? How's the chart looking? Let's see Qualcomm together. Qualcomm should be up after hours with this AMD move. Again, semiconductors run together. You could see there's a gap to fill at 188. I would say a break of 182.33. There's a gap to fill at 188. Maybe worth a shot for some calls. I like Qualcomm. I know Google announced they split. They announced what would happen. No, I don't see a date on it. Maybe later after their conference call is over, we'll get something. Any news that comes up regarding the stock split on the date, we'll get you that on Twitter. Are you looking at AMD calls for next week? Yeah, we could take a look at it, but it's up today. So again, it's all about how the morning is tomorrow. We'll see the initial price action. But yeah, AMD reported a monster quarter. I would probably want to trade that. Sure. Let's see, July. So I guess July they're going to do it. I bought February 4th, 2800 call. Nice, very nice. Good afternoon, Carlos. Do you think Google stock split is good news for the stock to rally from here? Yes. Not only did they just have a stock split, they had a great quarter. Again, these are great American companies that are building and doing great things. Not every stock is a SPAC. Not every stock is a high growth beta. Google is as pretty much consistent as it gets. It's a great company. They have had some times where they had some drops after earnings, sure. Those are opportunities. Google you own. That's a great company to have long term. Let's see, Amazon and Google, would you buy in tomorrow? I would not buy Google tomorrow. I would buy if it's red. I only buy stocks when they're down. I don't buy stocks when they're up. I don't go run to the dealership when they increased prices on the cars 5% or 20%. I wait for it to come down a little bit. Let's see. Thanks, Carlos, for you're welcome. Bearish on Square. Square will reach pre-pandemic lows. Well, I don't know if that's a statement or a question. So I don't know what to tell you that. I have to see their earnings. I mean, I think below 88, I'd buy some more. Absolutely. That's a major support level. And if it falls more, I'll be ready. Again, just like we had just last week when we were buying companies like AMD and we're adding stock like Microsoft and all this stuff, people thought, oh, we're gonna fall, Carlos. The world's over. That's it. Recession. The Fed is gonna raise hike rates, and we're screwed. And what happened? Does this look like we're screwed? You could say it's a dead cat bounce all you want. That's fine. Whatever you want to say. But the companies that have shown you they're making good things, economy's fine. What do we need to worry about? ADP report tomorrow. Not really anything to worry about because those are private payrolls. Friday's the one you really want to focus on. Why is Apple not showing an after-hours fireworks? They just rose 7% 2 days ago. They usually don't have that kind of move. It's a digestion of all the buying. So again, I know we want just green. It doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. Those are opportunities. Today's not an opportunity to buy Apple. I love Apple, but today's not the day to buy it. You wait a little more. I mean, it's down 0.10%. I mean, Microsoft down 0.71%, and they had an amazing 7% day too. That's just how it works. How does oil going up to $100 affect the rest of the market? You'll get a little bit of a shock in terms of maybe consumer consumption or consumer discretionary due to higher fuel costs. But again, it'll be offset by all the energy companies making money hand over fist. And hopefully, if they're smart, they'll use that money to kind of reinvest in their infrastructure so they don't have to depend on foreign oil. Good idea, right? But again, remember, higher energy costs help energy companies. So again, you're going to get a bull market somewhere in a sense. What do you think about buying 100 shares of Google after the split and some cover calls against them? I think you're just trying. You can. I mean, it just seems very, very just too much to do for a company that's so great. I mean, I don't write contracts. I just own the stock and I just trade options. So again, you could always do it. I don't like it. I just think it's just more work to just own your 100 shares, and then you're gonna write calls. And if you get exercise, you lose it. So no, man. I would just keep Google. Google is nice and steady. They had an amazing quarter. You own it. Do you think Google stock split will rally all the way to the day of the split like it did with Apple and Tesla? I do. Yep. Apple and Tesla will rally into it. Google will continue to go higher with it. If we look at the daily, we're at, let's say, 3,000 now. Yeah, man, we got a little more to go. 3037 is your all-time high. Once we break that, I mean, NASDAQ's going to move. Google has earned your money. You know, Google has earned your investment. Microsoft has earned your investment. Apple has earned your investment. Those three guys are going to go to all-time highs. Now, Tesla, the only issue is their supply chain. Again, remember, they're a car manufacturer, tech company that makes cars. Apple doesn't have that kind of issue. They have a lot of revenue, other revenue streams. Google doesn't have to worry about that stuff. They have they have cloud services and all that stuff. They don't have that kind of overhead. Their margins are better. Amazon, sure, you'll have some supply chain issues in terms of delivery, for example. Microsoft doesn't have that issue, so I wouldn't put them in that bucket. but I think Google will be more of an Apple booth. Wait till tomorrow with all the analysts fall in love with Google again and they want to go ahead and increase price targets to 4,000, and then you'll see what happens. Google will be partying this weekend. Congratulations. Do you expect spreads on Google to come down after splits? When you said spreads, you mean the spread between the bid and the ask? Yeah, of course, things tend to stabilize over time. Remember, we're going to be only $37 away from all-time highs on Google. So again, I think it's a winner. I mean, it's a $4,000 stock, maybe $5,000 down the line. But again, we're going to have a split. So it doesn't matter what it is now. We're going to get down to $150, and then who knows, maybe in 10 years we'll be back to 1,000 or 2,000. Google is that big. They're a great company, and they're still a growth company. So there you go. So congratulations to Google holders, to AMD holders. PayPal, you're getting hit like me. I own some PayPal, but it gave me an opportunity to reload and buy from there. Yeah, the spread in options is due to the IV. Remember, the option market is closed, so you're not getting the correct quote, by the way. And remember, with implied volatility comes wider spreads. Sometimes tighter due to volume, but again, more times than not, it's a higher spread. But again, just something you'll watch tomorrow. We're going to leave it there, guys. Have a great rest of your day. We'll get one more. I heard a podcast saying Putin was just trying to negotiate power with NATO. If they wanted to invade, they would keep it a secret bullish. Maybe short aerospace and defense. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know. That's all speculation. I have no idea. I just hope that we don't have any issues. But I mean, at the end of the day, you just have to go and really react, not predict. And that predicting is tough unless you have a plug to Putin and you can call him right now. That'd be nice, but I have no idea. And will be nice start playing Google options or premiums are insane. Exactly. Hey, Carlos, what do you think about MRO, smaller cap company? I'm okay with MRO. That's okay, but $100 a barrel oil, I would start trimming down a little bit because we're not going to have gold prices that high. It's really moved really quickly. But yeah, they are a cash cow. Now they are. And that's great. So hopefully they reinvest it and do great things. So with that being said, I got a couple announcements. One of our VPs in our company, we're going to start G.A.R Capital en Español. We're going to start doing market recaps and more videos just for Spanish speakers. So there's a whole segment of South Americans and Americans and people overseas that speak Spanish primarily. So I